This case we're going to talk about today, I want to be clear. It is separate from the case that involves our student athletes. There's no intertwining of the case. It's totally separate. The appeal process is ongoing. As we shared with you in December 23rd or whenever that was, we sent out the release. We're not going to talk about the appeal until it's done. And I know many of you want to ask questions about that. I want you to understand up front, we're not going to answer questions about the appeal. When it's done, we'll talk about the appeal process. This case is relative to Coach Tressel and the institution, and we'll talk about that today and not the appeal. First and foremost, I want to thank the NCAA for working with us collaboratively as we went through this process to gather information. So you understand, and many of you know, in most investigations, when an institution uncovers a potential major infraction, the institution goes through its process of doing the investigation. It conducts its interviews, it goes through a lengthy process, it develops a self-report, it submits it. The NCAA typically comes on campus and really just redo what you've already done. They begin the process of investigating themselves. We decided early on to work with them, to ask them to be a part of the process and work with us from the beginning. When we came back from the bowl game, we discovered through gathering information on another matter that there were some emails that Coach Tressel had received that revealed that he had some prior knowledge regarding the matter with our student athletes. In mid-January, we sat down with Coach Tressel, asked him about the emails. He shared with us why he did not disclose those, and he'll talk about that today. And from there, we began the process of conducting the investigation further. We contacted a group called the Compliance Group as consultants to come in and share with us their expertise because they dealt with cases that are similar to this one, and we wanted to make sure we had at our disposal people who had been through this type of case before. So we retained them on January 21st, and President Gee was out of the country, so we didn't go too far until he was able to come back. He returned, and we met with him immediately on his return and shared with him what we had and developed our strategy from there. We informed Commissioner Jim Delaney, and the very next day we notified the NCAA of our matter. And we asked them to come in and join in the investigation from the beginning. And again, I want to thank them because they came. We asked them on February 3rd to come and join us in the investigation that will start on February 8th. And they sent 2 investigators to our campus, and we began the process of interviewing people. And as stated in the self-report, we interviewed various people, gathered a lot of information, and went through the process of making sure that we communicated with the NCAA on additional information that we found, and just spent basically a month working with them on this case.